Hi, and welcome to Sabre Equity's next best real estate investment opportunity. This time we're changing it up a little bit, and this is an RV and boat storage development opportunity in the Houston-Galveston corridor. I'm Charlie Rushton, I'm from Sabre Equity, and I'm here with one of my partners, Kyle. And as you know, we've brought some great deals recently to everybody's inbox, and this one is no different. So as I said, this is an RV and boat storage development deal. We are co-sponsoring with Riverbridge Investments and James McClelland. They're going to be our GP partners on the ground, and James has got a lot of experience in the RV sector. He's built his own resorts and currently operates two other RV and boat storage facilities. They'll be our local management team on the ground and bringing the expertise of the construction, which is his background, to the table as well. So why have we gone into this deal? Well, the main reason is that there's been a massive explosion in people buying RVs and boats, mostly since post-COVID. Obviously, there's been a very, very strong attraction to this lifestyle, but mostly after COVID or during COVID, people have decided, you know what, we want to be on the move, be a bit more mobile, and go and do our own little thing away from a lot of people. And this is one of the best ways to continues to grow. And it's an $18 billion industry with new sales of that. 560,000 or more boat owners and or getting in their RVs and seeing this, different parts of this fantastic country.
Yeah, from our perspective, stay in front of it, and given that Texas is the top destination.
Yeah. So the location is in Santa Fe, confused with New Mexico. We're in between Houston path of travel for all of these people who are RVers and boat owners that are looking to enjoy the water, get away, and this, the Gulf area draws an enormous amount of tourism, and we are right in the path of these people coming to the area.
As you can see, this is I-45 here, this red line. So from a practical standpoint, what happens is people, we have a huge population in Houston. Many of them live in condensed areas. They don't have the space to store their RV or boat, so they'll store it at our facility here, and then they'll just drive down the freeway here, pick up their boat or RV, continue the last 15 minutes or so to Galveston, stay there for the weekend or for their vacation. Then on the way back, they can just simply drop it off here and make their way back home to Houston. So extremely convenient and perfect location. And then you can also see we've got Highway 6 down here, and this is really on direct route from not only Houston, but San Antonio, DFW, Austin, and other major cities in Texas. So basically everyone's kind of being funneled right through here.
And as we know, the Houston market, huge population, 7.1 million. And the demographics, the people that own these RVs and boats, they've got big disposable income. And, as Kyle says, they need somewhere to store it. A lot of the HOA laws and everything in the residential areas are changing, prohibiting people from holding or keeping RVs and boats on public thoroughfares or in their neighborhoods. So this is driving everybody's need and desire to hold their boats in the storage compounded area, secure and easily accessible to them whenever they want it. Galveston's their destination, and Galveston hosts 7.3 million visitors a year and increasing. 2019, they had 7.3 million, and it's the second largest employment sector for the area, being tourism. These guys make up a big part of that. They bring, they bring the dollars to the area, both for gas as well as the restaurants and so on and so forth. So really, it's a big destination, and we're we're hoping that we are going to capitalize quite nicely on that area. Just a couple of little fun facts. There's over 200 RV parks in Galveston area, 32 miles of beaches that allow for opportunities of RV and camping. There's hundreds of marinas, parks, and boat launches, making the use of boats more accessible and easier. And as I previously mentioned, 7.3 visitors a year, 7.3 million. That is, that's a sizable chunk of industry there.
And not only popular just for people within Texas, but really all over the Gulf Coast and beyond. This is a national destination that people will drive, across the country to. So, and it continues to grow each year.
So what does the opportunity look like? Well, as of right now, in that bottom right-hand photo, it's just, and the bottom photos is it's just plain land. What we're going to be doing is clearing that, laying asphalt, securing it with a perimeter fence and security cameras, and having both covered and open spaces available to rent. We'll be putting in brand new signage. As you can see, there's a 4-lane highway or road that we're right on, which will give us fantastic visibility with the traffic count that we're going to be expecting. Some of the really great tongue-tied positive parts of this is that we've already got a septic tank in place, and we've got 2 water wells drilled and operational. That prevents us from having to tie into the city utilities, and therefore we will be able to reduce our overheads and costs accordingly. We're going to have on-site property monitors and contacts, and we'll also be having additional amenities that the current competition are not providing. So that will give us definite market upside. As you can see, some of the pictures here, just aerial view of the land that we are going to be acquiring. And the next slide will kind of show you where we're at with the site plan in terms of the layout.
You can see this is a very easy access facility right off the 4-lane highway, so maximum traffic exposure and easy for those large boats and RVs to pull right in and get back out and on the freeway. So great site.
So we've got the site plan here. We're going to have, as I said, both covered and uncovered bays, an amount that are going to have a pull-through facility, so it's an egress far easier. And again, that's something that we can charge accordingly for the convenience factor. On else, we'll be providing a restroom, dumpsters, dump station. This is going to be a very big upsell for us. None of these competitor station on their sites. So the convenience factor for somewhere to dump their waste and to clean off and rinse the boats and what have you is going to be a big draw card for us, which is going to certainly assist in us keeping the facility pretty well occupied throughout the year. And again, this just reiterates some of the amenities that we're going to be putting out for availability: restrooms, battery charge station, wash stations, dump stations. And as I'd mentioned, it's going to be security cameras and on-site staff and security gate, full automation for ingress and egress 24/7 whenever you need it.
For RV and boat users and owners, this is one of the most important things they look for is just ease of use, convenience, having all these things in one place. They don't have to drive to a separate facility for a dump station or wash bay. They can use the restrooms and dumpsters. So this is going to be a huge selling point for people, whereas almost all the competitors don't have nearly all of these amenities. So looking forward to adding these.
And with that, this is how the numbers are going to play out. We're going to be able to definitely upcharge over our competitors. And as you can see, we've got the uncovered and the covered. There is definitely a rent difference between what people are going to be wanting. Approximately 30% of the available spaces are going to be covered. And we're expecting at full capacity a gross potential rent annual income of approximately 240,000. And when we compare to the competition, Big D2 is pretty much our closest competitor. And as you can see, they're 100% full, and they've got a 2-month waiting list. They've got gravel driveways. We're going to be asphalt, so that's going to be far more appealing to the owners, as it's not going to potentially impair or damage some of the undersides and undercarriages of the RVs and what have you. And as you can see, the rents that they are currently charging, we will be exceeding those, primarily because we'll have a much newer resort or newer facility, sorry. And on top of that, with the amenities that we are going to be providing, it's going to make it a far more appealing prospect for RV and boat owners to store their valuables with us.
You'll also notice our sites will be slightly wider and quite a bit longer than the competition as well. So again, that's a huge benefit for people trying to back in and store those large vehicles.
So our timelines and business plan on this, we intend to close by August 1st. Construction will begin pretty much as straight away. We're already putting in for the permits. We expect probably a 4 to 5 month construction timeline. So by February of next year, we should be operational to the point that we'll be beginning to take in leases. And come June, you know, the busier months, June, July, August, September, will be well positioned to capitalize on everybody wanting to find storage for their accessories and everything during the high season of summer. So just a little bit of breakdown of where the costs are. So we're going to be acquiring the land, 7 acres or just shy of 7 acres for 337,000. Total construction renovation costs are approximately 876,000. And we've got closing fees, acquisition and management fees of 124,000. Loan amount's going to be 975, so just shy of $1 million. And we've got a term sheet locking us in at 4.5%. And we'll be doing an interest-only bridge loan for the first 2 years. Once we've reached stabilization, we'll be looking to refi that out. And the beauty of this is that at refi, as you'll see on the next coming up page, we'll be returning a significant amount of the capital to all the investors in year 2. So we've just got a brief financials and pro forma example here. We expect ultimately to be operating below 30% expenses. However, we have purposely made this very conservative, and we strongly believe that while we are going to be providing very good returns, we more than likely will be exceeding those returns. And gas and electric, we will be probably half the amount there of 12,000. And water and sewer, we won't be really reliant upon that for utilities from the city, so there won't really be any billings for that. So when you take all of that into consideration, we feel that we've got a very, very strong asset on our hands here.
One thing you'll notice in the first year, which is why vacancy is so high, because we're planning on approximately 3 to 4 months of construction and lease up before we get to a point where we'll be fully occupied. So again, after that point, it'll be business as usual. And realistically, as Charlie mentioned, these are very conservative vacancy numbers, but we like to underwrite conservatively.
And so here, as a hypothetical investment scenario, if you were to invest 100,000, as Kyle just mentioned, we wouldn't expect too much cash flow in the first year, purely because we just won't have an asset that's going to be revenuing too much due to construction. But we certainly feel and believe that by the second half of the first year, we will be in a position to start generating revenues. By year 2, we expect to be stabilized. Cash flow will be coming in now easily at 8-9%. And with a capital event of refinancing out of the bridge loan, we expect to be returning approximately 75% of the original capital to all of our members and investors. And then years 3 and 4 benefit greatly from an increased cash-on-cash return now. And by year 4, end of year 4, we'll be selling the asset, realizing the profits, and ultimately generating approximately a 1.9 multiple.
As an investor, keep in mind this is a pretty unique benefit to be able to receive about 75% of your capital back projected in early on in year 2. Again, because it's through a refinance, this is not a taxable event, and then you can take that capital and go reinvest it, redeploy it, but you get to stay in the deal and experience the remaining benefits as well. So again, a very unique aspect of this deal that we're excited about.
So overall, just to recap, we'll be doing approximately delivering a 17% cash on cash and a 24% IRR. And Kyle's going to run you through how we're going to, how you can get involved in this fabulous deal and through our new Sabre Equity Diversification Fund.
Yes, so this deal is available exclusively through the Sabre Equity Diversification Fund. We just released some more information on this fund on our website, sabreequity.com, where you can watch a short video on how this works, contact us for questions. But essentially it works similar almost to like a trading account where you can see all our different opportunities there. This is one of them. So once you register for the fund, you can request your investment. And one thing to keep in mind, we expect this to go quickly. There's a limited number of shares available. So again, contact us for questions, but we look forward to partnering with you on this. And thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for your time, and we look forward to speaking with you and joining us on this journey in very short order. Thanks very much.